B.J. Rogers for Waco, number 13, a ninth grader.
For your Bulldogs, number 12, Alex Insminger.
And Alex Insminger for Mediapolis. Alex is a junior, a 5'7" junior.
For Waco, number 25, Bryce Ocken.
And Bryce Ocken, number 25, trots out for Waco.
Second for the Bulldogs, number 24, Robbie Fletcher.
And Robbie Fletcher.
Third for Waco, number 31, Braden Blake.
And Braden Blake, number 31 for Waco.
For your Bulldogs, number 40, Keaton Kaiser.
Keaton Kaiser, number 40. Keaton's about 6'5" this year.
Fourth for Waco, number 33, Tucker Janacek.
Tucker Janacek? Am I saying that right?
Janacek.
Janacek, okay.
Out fourth for the Bulldogs, number 32, Tyler Rogers.
And Tyler Rogers, number 32, tries out for the Bulldogs.
For Waco, number 41, Duncan Pickard.
And Duncan Pickard, number 41.
And for the Bulldogs, number 34, Tristan Timmerman.
And Tristan Timmerman comes out for the Bulldogs. I was a little surprised by that one. Although Coach Worrell told me he'd been playing really, really well in practice, so.
I'm looking forward to this. I enjoy high school basketball as a former player, coach. I just think it's a great opportunities for these kids. Great team game, and like I said, you have two pretty high quality coaches here. We'll see how this first game turns out for them. I'm going to throw one more shout out there because I saw him, Ralph Kaufman. He taught at Waco for about 4 or 5 years, and I saw him down there. I know he was a school board member over here, and I'll just leave it as an interesting character.
Ralph is one of a kind. Ralph and I go way back, and he's one of a kind, and he's really a fun person. And there's the tip-off, and Insminger had it, and it's ripped away from him by Janacek?
Janacek, yep, Tucker Janacek, senior.
He ripped that ball away from Insminger, so Waco has the ball for the first possession, and there's Janacek going to the hoop. But there's going to be a foul called, and it's going to be on Tristan Timmerman, number 34, on a reach there. So Waco will win the bound under the basket. And a shot is put up, a three-pointer is put up there by B.J. Rogers, but it's no good, and it's cleared out of there.
Nice open
by
shot
Tyler
there.
Rogers. Yep, he had a good, really wide open look there, just couldn't get it to go down. Timmerman over to Keitzer, to Fletcher, out front to Rogers. He's going to put up a shot from about the free throw line, no good, and it's rebounded by Keitzer, but he's tied up. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's.
I know Coach Worrell doesn't agree with it. He didn't think they had possession on the tip.
Yeah, I was a little surprised too, but I think they're probably right. I think Insminger had the ball and it was ripped out of his hands, so that would have been a possession.
They see Mediapolis and a man.
And there's going to be a turnover.
Now, I mentioned Rogers and Rogers. I don't think there's any relation, but if somebody out there does know the relationship between those two, they can, I suppose, text one of us. And
yeah, I don't. I'm not sure about that. Now, there was an official in the Fresh Soft game that I think is coach's cousin, and there's a foul on the coach's son. Tyler is called for an offensive foul as he kind of just lowered his shoulder, and if you lower that shoulder, you're usually going to get the offensive foul call.
It's good hustle by Janacek getting back and getting in position to take that charge.
So it's 0-0 here with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Mediapolis versus Waco.
In Mediapolis playing man. Rogers with another three.
And it's no good. Timmerman grabs the rebound. He's trapped, but he gets it out to Insminger. Insminger is going to be trapped also, as Waco is going to put the trap on after a missed shot. And there's going to be a foul called on number 31. And I think I shouldn't get ahead of myself.
That was the call.
And that's Braden Blake who was called for that foul. So, a little trapping on missed shots. That's a little different. It'll be interesting to see how we react to that.
True to his word. And here your bigs are doing a nice job posting up. We're going with a full front here.
Insminger penetrates into the lane. Has to kick it out to Fletcher. Back out to Insminger as they reset here.
Now this is something Coach Hilmer, again, they're in that matchup zone where they're going to match up with you. Switch on every screen.
Timmerman puts it on the floor and throws it away, but nice save by Fletcher, I think. Yes, Fletcher was going over the timeline. Fletcher grabbed the ball and threw it off of Rogers, and it went out of bounds, then off Rogers. So Mediapolis retains possession, and here comes Waco with full court pressure. And zone full court pressure, and the Bulldogs get it down, but not very smoothly.
They could tell they knew what they wanted to do there.
That's exactly right. They knew what they'd practiced, but the execution wasn't quite there. But it went out of bounds and they kept the ball. Rogers has it under the basket, puts up the shot, no good. Keitzer gets the rebound. And we're going to have another foul call, I believe, on Waco.
Duncan Pickard picks up his first.
Fletcher will inbounds. Good defense there by Waco and made it tough to get it in. And now we're going to have a 3-second call on Keitzer, I believe. So this game hasn't exactly been smooth to start, but both teams are really getting after it on defense, so that's part of it. 5:40 to go, still no score. There's a long shot put up and is no good, and that was by Pickard. Rebounded out of there by Keitzer out to Rogers. And here comes that trap off of the missed shot. Insminger gets it across the timeline, but he's where he shouldn't be. Now he gets it out to Timmerman. No, that's Fletcher. Rogers drives the baseline, and Pickard's going to pick up the foul.
That'll be his second.
Going to be 2 on him already. Rogers likes to put the ball on the floor. He drives the ball very well, and for a kid 6'4", he handles the ball pretty well. So we'll see a lot of that. And he picked up the foul there. Inbounds to Timmerman, and he puts up the shot and breaks the scoreless tie.
So there's your first basket, Coach.
Yep. So they're going to score this season. We know that.
Waco doing a little weave action. Another three.
Another three put up there, and again that was number 31, Blake, and they never touched the rim, so it's going to be the Bulldogs' ball against that full court pressure. A little zone trap. Ball in the middle. Timmerman picks it up, and now Mediapolis has numbers. And we're going to have another foul here, and that is number 11, Gabe Black. He picks up the foul on Insminger. Bulldogs had a 3-2 break. Insminger stopped to pull up the little jump shot just inside the free throw line and drew the foul. Get that ball to the middle of the floor against that zone press. Good things usually will happen, and Insminger bounces the free throw in.
Yeah, right now they're doing a nice job pushing it up the floor and attacking that press.
Insminger hits both free throws. And here come the Bulldogs trying to get into some pressure. It's more of a half-court press in their case. And Waco handles it easily. And now we're going to have a foul. And it looks like the officials are going to call this fairly close to start the ball game.
Calling a lot of the hand touching. I know that's an emphasis that they have every year, but this year especially, I know that they've any kind of touch, they want to call that as a hold, trying to clean that up and make it a less physical game. I say that as our post.
And there's a steal right there by Fletcher on the inbounds play. Yeah, they'll call it close for a while, and then they'll go back to calling it. That's been my experience.
Kind of like holding in football.
Yep. We're going to call it close for about a quarter.
Once or twice, and then we'll move on.
And then we'll go back to what we usually do. And we're going to have a 3-second call, and I'm not sure. I think that might have been on Timmerman that time. That's 2 of those. I might have saw 2 of those called all last year, I think. So.
The Warriors now bring the ball up. So far, all their attempts have been on behind the arc, 3-pointers. It's like they're running this weave offense where they're penetrating, then kicking it out. There's our first 2-point attempt, and it's good. Braden Blake with the pull-up at the free throw line.
That's a nice job of running the offense. A little more patient that time, and got the penetration and got the wide open little jump shot. Mediapolis attacking the press. Insminger's able to break it and bring it in. Gets to the free throw line, stops and shoots. No good. Hustles after the rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball. Janacek is a hustler, isn't he? Boy, he really gets after it.
I think that's the only way he knows how to play.
Yep. And that's, he's not an especially tall kid, but boy, he really hustles. There's the pass inside, and it's ripped away there by Black, I mean. Now it's turned back over to the Bulldogs. This game's a little ragged here, folks.
Yeah. Poked it away from behind. Again, like no communication there by the Warriors as the Mediapolis player poked it away.
Here comes Rogers to the basket, and he's going to draw the foul. He can live at the free throw line. That's one of his things. So
I think they called that one on the ground on Janacek. So that was his first. So with 3:14 to go, host Bulldogs are up 4-2 over the visiting Warriors.
And we get the ball into Rogers after a lot of screens. Rogers taking it into the hole, and they're going to call a foul.
There's a lot of contact going on down there.
Yeah, there was quite a little bit of contact.
For what we've seen on the perimeter, little touch fouls, that's not going to be called probably inside.
Tanner Gerst will be entering the lineup for the Bulldogs. He replaces Keitzer. As the Bulldogs are going with a little shorter lineup here. Gerst is senior, good outside shooter. There's Rogers on the inbound, leaves it short, but it's bounced out of bounds off the hands of Aiken.
Yep, Bryce Hawkins, he's a junior this year. 2-year starter for him.
Insminger has the ball in the corner. Bounces back out. Fletcher's going to put up a 3, and it's going to be in there. Bounced around and finally dropped through. Robbie Fletcher for 3. Dnipro leads 7-2. There's a 3 by Rogers, no good, but it's hustled down by Blake.
Yeah, you saw that in the girls' game.
Oh, and there's a block inside by Rogers. Comes back out, though, as WACO gets the rebound. And it's pretty physical down inside there right now. There's a long 3 that's no good. We're going to have a foul here. I don't know who it's going to be on because there was a whole bunch of bodies in there.
I think that's going to be Bryce Hawkins' second foul, as him and Rogers are getting very physical down there, letting you know where they're at all times. And that'll be WACO's 7th foul, so Rogers is going to go to the line here.
Wow, that happened quick. Now, if you're on the bench, you start pointing that out to the officials, right? Hey, it's 7-3 already.
Well, right now the WACO offense is living around the 3-point line, so it's hard to get a lot of fouls when you
do that.
threes.
The jump shooting is right, and checking in for the Bulldogs is number 20. And I'm looking for a number there, and that's Josh Osborne. And Rogers makes the free throw. It's his first point tonight. Misses the second one, and it's rebounded out of there, and a strong rebound by Janacek.
So again, now you can see the Warriors with their weave action here. Penetrate. Then Gabe Blake throws it away as he tries to get it to Bryce Hawkins down there on the post.
A good job. He kind of fought through that trap up there and got inside, but then tossed it away. And here's that full court pressure again, and they're going to throw deep. to Rogers, and there's going to be a foul right there.
And that is Hawkins' third here in the third period, or first period already.
I'll tell you, a few years ago, Jesse Ertz, who's down at K-State now as a quarterback, we came in here, and you know how IMS always used to press, and they just put him out of bounds and just ran fly patterns, and by halftime, IMS had to get out of the press. It was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen, because he just treated it like it was going for a touchdown, you know, and laid it right on the money. And
that was a good group of athletes you had that year down here at Mediapolis. I think there was a Derbyshire there, wasn't there?
Yeah, Jacob, and there's the second one good. And then, of course, Jesse hurt his knee at the end of his senior year and didn't get to play basketball. We'd have been pretty good again, because he made us a pretty good basketball team, too. And now we're going to have a foul on Mediapolis. I think that's on Tanner Gerst. Nope, it's on number 42. And I got to look that guy up. First time in the game, Dalton Carlson, sophomore. And a quick inbounds play and an easy basket for Duncan Pickard.
And you see the Warriors back in the press. They're able to throw it over the top.
And number 42, Duncan Carlson, comes in and scores.
And that causes Coach Hillner to get up and call a timeout real quick, as they break that press pretty easy.
Yeah, it looks to me like if they want to stay in that, they're going to have to put somebody back, because when you don't have anybody back, and if you're able to complete that long pass, and it's pretty tough. I never could run a press where we didn't have somebody back. I never had any luck doing that.
I think that's where Coach is now communicating with his players the same idea that you're just telling the listeners, that somebody needs to rotate back there.
Yeah.
I think he's telling who. And
yeah, he seems to be having a pretty good heart-to-heart out there right now.
Well, if you're going to press, you can't give up those easy ones like that. You have to be able to get back in transition. But you also have to be able to challenge that passer up there to make that.
Right. That's the other thing. If you're going to defend that way and not put a safety back there, then you do have to get up there and get on the strong hand of the inbounder and make that pass difficult, make them get some air under it, and then you have a chance to run somebody over there. So we'll see what adjustments are made here.
Yeah. So with late in the first quarter, 2 minutes to go, Warriors find themselves down 12-4.
And it was pretty sloppy here at the beginning of the game, but I guess maybe expect that in the first ball game. So
little jitters there coming out of the season.
Rogers has the ball. Janacek drives into the lane, and he's going to draw a foul on, I'm not going to say until they call it, because I'm not sure. There was 3 people in there. It's on Gerst, Tanner Gerst. That would be his first, I believe.
Tilner wants. He wants to beat up the game, so you see that pressure and get you out of your comfort zone a little bit.
There's Blake with the ball over to Rogers.
Got a nice pick and roll
by Pickard, and he puts it up, and they're going to call a jump ball. Some of the fans thought that was traveling.
Well, something had to be called. Something had to be called.
Yeah, something had to be called, and they called a jump. So, and WACO has possession, so they have the arrow, and thrown up there by Blake at the buzzer, and it's no good. So we end this first quarter with Mediapolis.
Back the basket, have had some success here.
It's the Bulldogs' ball here. Insminger brings it across the timeline. Throws over to Fletcher. Fletcher's looking for someone to clear to. Now drives the baseline, dumps off to Insminger in the corner. He drives out of the corner. Good job of getting it out of the corner there. Back there to Fletcher's. Bring it over to this side. They're overloading. They're staying too long on one side of the floor here. We got to get the ball changed sides of the floor if you want to make somebody move. Timmerman drives inside. Couldn't score, but the ball's loose and picked up by Keitzer, and he scores and draws a foul.
And that's Duncan Pickard's third foul. So now you have 2 Warriors with 3 fouls. 2 junior posts. Duncan Pickard and Bryce Hawken are probably done for the half here. Now we have freshman Bo Beckler getting his first action of the night.
Keitzer a good finish in there. He had trouble with that last year. He'd get the ball inside and just couldn't finish. So from that standpoint, that was a big basket, I think, for him. His free throw is up and it rolls in there. And last year he was an excellent free throw shooter. That one didn't look real good, but it went in. And here come the Bulldogs with some full court pressure this time. And it's easily broken here, and Janacek brings it down and has trouble with it, and it's swatted out of there, and it still is on the floor.
That was one of those where
Black had it knocked out of his hands, but then it didn't look like Timmerman was going to get picked up either, but he finally did. Insminger down inside, misses the shot. Timmerman gets the rebound. He's in trouble, goes up and scores. That was a very difficult shot right there. And here's the pressure again, and Rogers stepped on the line out of bounds, and pressure has got 2 turnovers here out of the Bulldogs since they went to the full court pressure.
Now they're able to make their baskets, and that allows them to get into that press.
17-6 now, the Bulldogs. They go inside to Keitzer, who dribbled and then kicks it back out. Now it goes to Rogers, and we're going to have a 3-second call on Keitzer, and I think the official's right. He had the ball in there, started his move, but then pulled up and passed it out.
Well, they're doing a strong job posting up in there, and a lot of times when you're open, you think you should get the ball. He's staying in there just a moment too long.
This time, Waco's able to break the press and driving to the hoop and making a scoop shot is Blake. Boy, he's tough inside. That's 3 baskets for him, and they've all been kind of difficult shots in there under some pressure.
He's a good athlete, and that's something they need him to do. They need him to step up and fill that scoring void.
So the Bulldogs lead 17-8 here with 6:19 left in the second quarter. So Mediapolis versus Waco. There's a dump off to Timmerman, and he goes inside and scores. And he's a young sophomore that played just a little bit last year, not much. And I know Coach Worrell said he's been really impressive in practice. And Waco now on their end of the floor. Black has the ball, looks inside, nothing there, back out to Rogers.
Yep, they're kind of slowing down here.
Back over to Black. He gets Fletcher in the air, but then pulls it back up. Gets it outside to Blake for the 3, and there it is. That's a good job. Great job of moving the basketball and getting a 3-pointer. Makes it 19-11. That was a good job of penetration and kicking it back out. It's funny how those threes go better when you've taken a little time off the clock and worked a little longer to get that shot than when you just run down the floor and put it up. Fletcher throws up a wild shot, but Keitzer gets the rebound and puts it back in. And Mediapolis fans got to be happy with him getting the ball and putting it back in the hole, because that was something he struggled with last year. And they're going to call a foul on Keitzer out on the floor. Said that he got him with the leg, I guess.
Again, away from the basket. They're really calling it close.
So going to the line to shoot 2 now. No, that would be that's just the 8th foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1. Is Rogers. That's BJ Rogers for Waco. We got a lot of Rogers here tonight. We got a Rogers that's a coach and 2 on the floor, and 2 coaches, I guess, an assistant coach, a head coach in the girls' game, and we just got lots of them out here. And Insminger got caught in the middle looking around, and it's picked off by Waco, and taking it to the hole is Gabe Black, and he draws the foul.
Gabe's a sophomore, and he got a lot of playing time at the JV level last year. He put a lot of time in this summer, and you can see it paying off here. Takes it strong to the basket, now gets the opportunity for 2 free throws.
And he banks the first one in.
Well, just means it's a good straight shot.
And he'll tell you that that's what he was trying to do. And he swishes the second one, so he makes both. 21-13 in favor of the Bulldogs with 4:55 left here in the first half. Mediapolis was up 12-6 at the quarter.
You can see again Waco in that matchup zone here, putting a lot of pressure on the perimeter players.
Gerst on the block, kicks it back outside. Fletcher puts up a 3. And put that up with some confidence and knocked it home. 24-13 now. The Bulldogs have gotten out of the press. Going back to a straight man-to-man defense. Half-court man-to-man. Blake fires it inside, but can't be handled there. And Fletcher comes up with the steal, but gives it right back to Blake, who's now going to go the other way. And I think he's going to the hole with it. Nope. dumps it off to Janacek, and here comes Fletcher with the steal again. He gives it up to Insminger, who stops and pops and hits. That was a good job by Insminger there, because if he'd have taken that to the hole, he'd have got the shot blocked, I think. And
yes.
He realized that and stopped and shot the little short jumper, just like his dad used to do several years ago.
That was a nice transition play there, where we had kind of a sloppy, you want to call it sloppy?
Enjoying the action tonight. Here come the Warriors. Blake has the ball. It's like Brendan Tapp's getting ready to come into the ball game. Rogers puts up a long three, and that's no good. And it's cleared out of there by Fletcher, and he's having a really good ball game tonight. And then there's a foul call. It's called on number 11, Gabe Black.
I believe that's his second.
So Fletcher he's just been kind of all over the floor tonight. He's had a really good ball game.
I expect that out of seniors.
They saw very limited action last year for the Bulldogs. Saw some, but wasn't probably in the regular rotation. But yeah, he's a senior and he's stepping up here tonight. He did miss that first free throw, however, so still 26-13. La Barba? Is that how you say that?
You know what? I always say it wrong, so you can go with it. Michael LaBarbera.
Fletcher hits the second one. 27-13 now for the Bulldogs. Blake brings it down. He's going against Fletcher out there. Makes a spin into the middle, shoots over the top of Fletcher and hits it. And I think that's going to be what he's going to do. If the Bulldogs continue to play man-to-man and just straight up man-to-man, he's going to take that ball inside and work one-on-one against Fletcher. Fletcher's going to have to get him turning a lot. Osborne driving to the basket, and he hits the jumper. His first basket of the night.
Braden Blake is son of Lucinda Blake, who's our cross-country coach over at WACO.
Rogers puts up the shot. It's no good. Goes out of bounds, and they're going to give it to the Bulldogs. Again, B.J. Rogers had a pretty good look there, just not dropping yet for him.
This is his first varsity game here as a freshman. He's a very confident offensive player, and those shots will fall hopefully here in a second.
And there's a nice feed inside, beautiful feed inside by Fletcher to Rogers for 2 points.
And that's a tough matchup for us. We're giving up several inches there inside our post.
And they were fronting, and it was a perfect pass out there by Fletcher over the top. A long three is up and off the iron and comes down to Fletcher, who's bringing it on the break. Dumps it off to Osborne, who hits Fletcher in the side of the head. But the Bulldogs retain possession. Rogers puts up the three. Insminger rebounds. He takes it inside, puts up another jumper. No good. And I sure would have liked to see the Bulldogs pull that back out and run it inside to the post there. B.J. Rogers with the ball out to Blake, and he's looking, and he's going to put up the three, and he hits it, and he's tough.
Right now, that's our offense now. Get Braden Blake the ball.
31-18 now.
I better mention his dad, Randy, since I mentioned Lucinda. He's over there.
And there the ball goes inside to Rogers, and he draws the foul.
And that's going to be the third on B.J. Rogers.
And that time they did look inside. That other time we came down, launched a three, and then got the rebound and launched another one right away. And we just scored inside rather easily the possession before that. And WACO has some foul trouble, so it would have been nice to work it inside. And that time they did, but Rogers is short on the free throw.
Yeah, our two junior posts, Duncan Pickard and Bryce Auken, each have three and are on the bench. So you have freshman Bo Beckler in there doing his best against these seniors.
And Rogers is short again, and Janacek gets the rebound. So there was 2 points left out on the floor there for the Bulldogs. And Blake has the ball, picks it up. Now, Fletcher's smart. He's going to work hard to keep him from getting it back because he can't seem to stop him once he gets it. Tap working hard on defense. And now they got a trap in the corner. A little late on the cover, but Blake hasn't, gives it up. And a turnover as Insminger makes the steal. Gives it to Tapp on the as a trailer, and Tapp does his job and hits the basket. Good job by Ensminger. He didn't force that. Here comes Blake to the hole, gives it up, and we're going to have a travel call. That's on Mike LaBarbera. Good kick out by Blake there as he was, that time was double teamed. They got the travel call. Both teams have backed off the pressure. No, that didn't last too long, did it?
No.
They don't like giving up the easy baskets, and both teams were getting some. So,
yeah, right now we have 3 first-year players out there, and Jacob Freed, Mike LaBarbera, even though he's a senior, it's his first year, and Bo Beckler playing the post there.
And Timmerman just scored on a nice post feed by Rogers. They kind of inverted there. Rogers went to the corner, and Timmerman went to the basket and got an easy bucket. And there's WACO down on the block, and that's shot is no good there by number 45, Beckler. But Janacek comes in and saves the ball off of Rogers, so it'll still remain with WACO.
So 26 seconds here. It's important for WACO to get a good shot here.
And there's a 3 that's up and no good, and Rogers clears it. That shot was by Jacob Freed. Was no good. Rogers gets the rebound. The Bulldogs could hold for 1 if they wanted to. And they get the ball to Fletcher, or to Timmerman, and it wouldn't go in. Rogers drove to the basket, gave it to Timmerman, and rolled around the rim a couple of times and finally dropped off. He got fouled, so he'll shoot a pair.
Again, the young WACO's just getting caught out of position there. There's a nice penetration by Mediapolis. Creates a nice weak side opportunity.
And Timmerman hits the free throw to make it 36-18 with 12.6 seconds to go. And Coach World calls a timeout here. This is where on defense you're saying don't give up the 3. You know, you don't want to send that team to the locker room with momentum. And the 3 always seems to do that.
We've attempted enough.
I'd come out and double team Blake wherever he gets the ball and make him give it up so he didn't get the last shot.
That would be sound strategy tonight.
If my figures are right, he's got 14 of your 18 points right now, so he has been your offense. Very impressive young player.
Like I said, he's a good athlete. He's deceptively quick. He's a good leader. He played quarterback for the Warriors this year.
Timmerman hits the second shot. and Fletcher kicked the ball and almost nailed the referee on the inbounds pass. Yeah.
So they're not going to let Blake get the ball back.
No, that's what they talked about, I'm sure, is don't let him get it back, and the ball is kicked off and out of bounds. It stays with WACO with 7.1. Good job by the Bulldogs that time. Putting a little man-to-man pressure on that time. And there's Blake trying to get the ball, and it's out of bounds. Going to go over to the Bulldogs. Good job by Fletcher. That's exactly what Coach World talked about, I'm sure, in that timeout, is they're going to try to get the ball to Blake. Let's not let him have it. Let's make somebody else make that shot. And a good job as WACO threw it away, and the Bulldogs almost did right back. But Timmerman gets it in, and Ansminger throws one up and off the rim. So at halftime, we go to half. Mediapolis. Brendan Tapp has 2, and Tristan Timmerman has 10. And the Bulldogs lead 37-18.
Trust may not quite be there yet in those situations. So now we're starting the second half here. The Warriors have the ball with all their starters back in here. So we'll see if that makes a difference here offensively for them.
Blake starts the game out, or the half out, with a 3-pointer. Just simply went out there and went one-on-one and put it up over to the top of Fletcher and drained it.
Well, they had a lot of good looks there that first half. And Blake's been about the only one to make them so far.
Inside feed to Keitzer, and he puts it down. And boy, I can't tell you how much Bulldog fans are appreciating how he's putting the ball in the hoop, because last year that was a big problem. Janacek to the hole, and it's going to be blocked, and they're going to call that a jump ball. So should give the ball to the Bulldogs.
Again, a good aggressive move by Janacek. But again, that height finish, long arms of Rogers, able to tie him up on the layup.
Yeah, when you put Keitzer and Rogers and Timmerman out there, they're all lean and lanky, and well, Fletcher is too a little bit. Insminger in trouble and goes inside to Keitzer, and I'm telling you, we're seeing a coming out party for this young man tonight. Blake brings it down, breaks the pressure. Janacek to the hole, dumps it off. Nice pass off to Pickard. And it's going to remain with WACO as Keitzer went off Pickard, but Keitzer tried to grab it, fell out of bounds.
Good movement there by the Warriors. Had a chance for a shot, but mishandled the pass.
A good job again. They got into the lane with that ball, and when they do that, good things happen. Here's Blake, drives in now, kicks it off to Janacek. The three is no good. Ball loose on the floor. Keitzer gets down there with Rogers. It's going to be a jump ball, and this time it'll go to WACO.
Again, good hustle there by the Warriors.
Rogers inside to Blake. They're going to get a call on Fletcher. Has hands on his back as Blake posted him up and Fletcher got caught behind.
That's one of those things I always appreciate about Coach Hilmer. You'll see about 15 different inbounds plays here, all designed to get a shot. He's not going to waste that opportunity.
Rogers has the ball, kicks it back to Blake, and there's Fletcher hustling again. Even though Blake has a lot of points, I have to feel like Fletcher's done a pretty good job defensively on him because he's really making him work to get the basketball now.
Well, he's got one job, and that's not to let him touch the ball.
Out front is Rogers with the ball over to Janacek.
And getting into that weave action here at the front.
Off to Pickard. He drives into the lane, puts up the shot. It's no good. Good strong rebound by Timmerman. As there was a lot of bodies in there. Out to Rogers. Set it up now to Insminger.
You can see the Warriors trying to get in front of those posts. Force that lob where now we got the weak side help.
There was a good call there as they had front and back help there and the lob didn't work. Blake has the ball. Kicks it off to Janacek. Back to Blake. He wants to shoot the three. Steps back and puts it up. And this time didn't draw iron. Hurried that one a little bit. He used that step back move to get open and he wasn't quite set.
No. I'm sure it felt good leaving his hand though.
Oh yeah. 41-21 in favor of the Bulldogs. 5:37 to go here in the third period.
Yeah, the Warriors want to get back in this. They want to try to get probably about 10, 12 points here at the end of the quarter here. That starts at this end, getting some stops.
Good defense again down there on the post. That time they wouldn't let Keitzer touch it. And Rogers steps outside and drains the three. And that's a killer.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are going to give him that shot. So if he can step up and hit that, that's going to make it that much difficult. Much more difficult for the Warriors to get back in the game.
Here goes Blake to the hole. And he's going to draw the foul. And I'm not sure if that's on Fletcher or Rogers. It's on Fletcher. And I believe that's 3 on him. So it'll be interesting if Coach Worrell chooses to take him out of the game now or let him play with 3. Blake's at the line shooting 2.
Yeah, he hits the first.
If he keeps scoring, I'm going to run out of room here on my little... It's not really a score sheet. It's just a little part of the program. And
I always try to do that, and I get caught watching the game. And
I did too. I did in a girls' game a little bit too, but I think so far I've done pretty. My numbers come out right anyway. I'm not sure I have the right people always scoring, but that shot is no good, and it's rebounded by Keitzer, who falls down, but Rogers picks it up. Insminger into the front court, working against Rogers.
Yep.
B.J. Rogers. Out in the perimeter, nice feed inside. Keitzer can't come up with it, however, and we're going to have a jump ball.
Yeah, if he catches that clean, he's got an easy layup as the Warriors got caught in a rotation there with no backside help.
Yeah, it was really nice feed in there on that pass, but he just couldn't quite come up with it. Inbound it to him, quickly get it into Osborne, down to Timmerman. He goes up strong inside. This young man, well, Coach Worrell said he'd been looking so good in practice, and he's done it out here. There hasn't been much game slippage for him.
See a lot of confidence in the Bulldogs up 24.
we're going to get a foul on Insminger there. You could see that coming. I mean, there had been a lot of contact, and he didn't back away and drew the foul call. Here comes Dalton Carlson, sophomore. This is the first time I've seen him play. And Tanner Gersh, the senior, comes in, replacing Rogers and Keitzer, as he's going to give those two guys a little bit of a break here. So inbound pass goes to B.J. Rogers. Insminger's all over him out there. Blake has the ball. He's guarded by Osborne now. And there's a turnover as Timmerman steps in front, steals the ball, throws it down there. Now that's going to be tipped. I think they're going to overrule that and say it's still Mediapolis ball. It's one of those cases where Mediapolis had 3 people in the same lane instead of getting spread out on a break. And Osborne tried to feed it inside, and it was spiked out of bounds.
The inactive hands by Braden Blake getting in the passing lane, making that difficult pass.
Insminger has the ball in the corner, working against BJ, and there's the shot by Carlson, comes up short, but it's ripped away down there, and we're gonna have another jump ball here. That ball got on the ground, and there was all kinds of people coming at it. So it's a jump ball, and the possession arrow points to WACO, so they'll have the ball. Mediapolis leads 46-22, 3:57 to go here in the third period. Blake blows down the floor and gets by Osborne. Osborne's not quite as big as Fletcher to bother Blake quite as much, but he's doing a pretty good job keeping him from getting the basketball. And there's going to be another foul on Insminger.
And that's the way the game's been called tonight.
Yeah, it has been. It has been. The officials have been real consistent, I think, about they're going to call that stuff out front.
And you can lean on each other inside.
And inside, they're going to let you lean on each other a little bit. And there's going to be a foul on Carlson. So that's 5 fouls already on the Bulldogs. Ball goes into the corner to Black. He's looking inside. Doesn't do it. Good job by Osborne at covering up on Blake. They don't want him to touch the ball. And that's his one job. There's the feed inside. Pretty good defense there by Gerst, but a nice job by, is it Aachen? Am I saying that right?
That is Bryce Aachen.
Bryce Aachen went up and got that ball. That was, Gerst was in a good position. Aachen went up and got it and scored and drew the foul.
And I think that's 4 now on Insminger. Now that could be a difference because he's been handling the point guard for you all night.
He's been pretty solid for us out there. He does the best job of getting the offense set up, things like that. So yeah.
See if the Warriors can take advantage of that here. Make a little run here to end the quarter.
And Aachen steps up and hits the free throw. So a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. 46-25 in favor of the Bulldogs. 3:22 left in the third quarter. And there goes Timmerman on the drive. And yeah, you're right. They're just been real consistent. That foul's going against Aachen.
He gets his first points, and now he's going to have to go sit on the bench with his 4th foul. Now, he is a very aggressive player, and that's something he had trouble with last year with fouls. The bench was a little deeper last year, so it wasn't as noticeable.
Gerst goes up and draws a foul on Blake. I thought Gerst was forcing that a little bit, but was able to get inside and got the foul.
And that's Braden's first.
Well, that's good news.
That is good news.
That's real good news. It's only his first in a game like this.
And he plays a lot. He's going to, well, he hasn't been on the bench yet. He's going to play a lot of minutes.
And Gerst misses the free throw, leaves a little short. And he left that one short also, and it's cleared out of there by Janacek. Black has the ball in the forecourt. Gets it over to Janacek, looks inside to Pickard, but it's not there. Good job by Timmerman. Janacek goes inside and misses, and Timmerman had the rebound, left it short, and Janacek gets it and puts it back in.
Again, that's something Coach Hilmer said they want to do. They want to press you on the rebound. And B.J. Rogers is able to poke it away to Tucker Janacek.
And Gerst comes up short. He's not normally a post man. They've kind of moved him in there just And it showed on that post move right there as he was kind of falling away. Janacek on the drive. He's going to get the basket and the foul.
Got a little run going here.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe I'd like to see Rogers and Kaitzer come back in the ball game here.
Well, you got your wish, half your wish here.
Anyway. Yeah. And I don't know what their foul situation is. I looked up there, but here comes Kaitzer back in the ball game.
Well, they're post. They probably don't have too many.
Yeah. And Janacek hits the free throw to cut this margin to 46-30 now, a much more manageable one. And here comes Rogers. Yeah, Gerst is new at the post position, and it's shown a little bit on both sides of the ball. And there was kind of a bad feed by Osborne as he looked too long. You got to do something to change that. And here comes Blake to the hole.
Again, hard to keep Blake in front of you. And once he's past you now, he's a pretty good finisher. He got fouled that time. Again, clock stopped. Get a chance here to take a few more points off that lead.
And he knocks it down as we would expect that he would.
Like I said, if we can get this 10, 12 points at the quarter, you got to feel pretty good. Keep chipping away at that lead. Give yourself an opportunity there at the end.
And he missed that one, and a nice rebound by Kaitzer. Went up strong, got the rebound. Clears it out to Fletcher, who's back in the ball game with 3 fouls. Osborne has it over on the right wing. He's got to change the passing angle if he wants to get the ball inside. Here's Rogers down on the baseline. He's double teamed. And the ball's ripped away. It's going to be a jump ball, and it'll stay with the Bulldogs.
Gabe Black doing a nice job dropping down on the post, reaching in there, and tying Rogers up.
Yeah, that was really good defense there. They took the baseline away and then came with the double team, and Rogers couldn't get the ball out of there. And fortunately for the Bulldogs, they had the arrow. And we're going to get a foul down there on Pickard, I think.
And that will be his fourth.
That'll be his fourth. That was a tough foul, too. And he probably did have his hand on him, but man, that was pretty gentle. I feel sorry for the kid. He's picked up 3 quick ones and now another one here.
Yeah,
and it hasn't been like they've been really silly fouls or anything like that. I mean, they just been kind of what I call bad luck fouls. And Kaitzer goes right after him and with 4 fouls, so they did that. And here comes Blake. And he's loose, and there's going to be a foul on Osborne.
And we're in the bonus, so Blake's going to go to the line here.
Yeah, that's 9. You're going to be in the double bonus before the third quarter's over. Mediapolis leading 48-31 with 1:33 left in the third quarter. But at the line is Braden Blake.
I think Coach Hilmer's going to stick with Pickard here, knowing that this is their chance. It's their chance to make a run here.
Blake cans the first one. That's, if my count is right, I think that gives him 20 already. He missed the second one. Nice rebound by Fletcher. Good block out there by Fletcher, too. Picked up the rebound. There's the pass inside to Kaitzer. Get in there, Kaitzer.
Yeah, right now we don't have an answer for your post.
This is like the best game he's ever played, and this has got to be making Coach Worrell really happy to see him bury those long 3 there. Is going to go over the back. That was by Rogers. I thought it was going to stay up there, bounced up on top of the bankboard, and it just kind of laid up there for a second. I'm going, I've never seen that before if that happens. Well, the Bulldogs lead 50-32, 1:08 left here, and it's their ball. Rogers gives it back to Fletcher as they walk it up the court, which when you're up 18 points is probably a smart thing to do, and nearly picked off there by Black. Carlson goes up and puts up the shot. No good. Kaitzer gets the rebound and gets fouled.
Again, you can't coach size, and right now the Bulldogs have that advantage, and they're taking.
You know, last year he'd get those feeds and rebounds, and he couldn't finish. Tonight he's really finished, which is a really good sign, and we all know that. And he makes the free throw. He's always been a pretty good free throw shooter for a big guy too.
You know, sometimes when you're a big guy, it's just a matter of slowing down. You know, being under control, going up, taking a nice easy shot. When you're young, you get that ball, and you're just so hungry to get back up. You just bully your way back up there through the contact, and you have no touch whatsoever. But tonight, that hasn't been the case.
I think that's exactly what happened to him last year. He just hurried everything, and when he missed the second free throw, and it's rebounded by Black. When you're the biggest guy on the floor, well, you can take your time a little bit.
Yep.
And he's done that tonight. He's gathered himself, and I think he's got a little stronger too. Janacek to Black. Osborne doing his best to keep Blake from getting the ball. Janacek to the hole. We're going to have another one of those hand on the back foul. And that is on Rogers.
That's only his second.
It's only his second, so boy, I tell you what, I'd be driving it every time the way the game's being officiated. They're calling that. Janacek puts it up there and it bounces around and doesn't get lucky and rolls off.
And Tucker does a nice job penetrating. And for his size, he's a strong kid, and he's left-handed, so that's always an advantage. And there he converts on the second one.
It's that second one to drop. So 52-32 for the Bulldogs, 33 seconds left. Tanner Gerst back in the lineup now, playing more natural guard position out there. There's Timmerman open on the baseline, and he fumbles it away, but Osborne comes up with it, and he fumbles it away, and Keitzer gets down on the floor, and we got another jump ball. It's starting to look like one of those YMCA games where there's a jump ball every 30 seconds, isn't it? This one will belong to the Warriors, so they're going to get the last shot of the quarter here. Here comes Blake, and he's going to put it up. I'm thinking he's getting a shot. Nope, gives it up. And if Osborne's smart, he's not going to let him have it back. Puts it up at the buzzer. Blake does, and it's no good. So the third quarter ends with the Bulldogs enjoying a 51-33.
Post Bulldogs by 18.
Bulldogs have done a good job post, and not only with Keitzer, but Timmerman's done a good job, and Rogers in there too. And there it is again. They get it down there on that block, and this time unable to finish is Keitzer. That time there was a little bit more pressure. They muscled him just a little bit, pushed him out just a little bit farther than his comfort zone. He wasn't able to put it down, but a nice screen out there by Osborne to get him open. No basket. They're saying it was on the floor. So Blake's going to have to go to the line to earn these. Man, they just cleared aside, and he just went to the hole.
Well, right now they don't really have an answer for it. I mean, it's just he's going to go.
Well, the first thing they need to do is take his right hand away and see if he can do the same thing going left, and they haven't done that yet when he's put it on the floor.
Well, I saw Coach Whirl about 10 feet on the floor indicating that.
Yeah. Because so far, every time I've seen him drive all the way to the hoop, it's been right-handed. So we'll see what happens, but he cans both free throws and makes it 51-35 here with 7.5 minutes to go in the ballgame. Insminger still on the bench here. Yeah, and see, they're bringing Janacek over now, and he's putting some pressure on, and that time Keitzer missed the shot, but the Bulldogs get the rebound. Timmerman puts one up from outside, and this young man, for no more than he's played, he's having a breakout night too.
Well, at this point, I'm just going to hope that they can do this all year for you until we see it again.
And there's a pass inside to Auken, and it's blocked out of there by Rogers. Good feed inside, but Rogers came from the offside and swatted it against the wall.
And that's kind of the post presence they lose when Auken's not in the game.
Janacek on the drive, and Keitzer has a rebound. Feeds it ahead to Timmerman. He drives down to the baseline, fakes the shot, gets it to Rogers, gets into the lane, puts it up a little hard. Keitzer almost gets the rebound, but Janacek comes out of there with it, throws it down the court to Rogers. Rogers to Blake, and Blake's going to get draw foul.
Well, like you said, that's the offense tonight.
Yeah, and he keeps going to the right side of the floor, and we keep letting him. I know how hard that is to teach. That you can talk about it all you want to, and making yourself, especially against somebody who's as good as he is, making yourself get way over on the right side is just tough. And Blake missed that free throw. Seems like that's the only one he's missed. I don't know. I'm sure he's missed another one or two, but boy, he's been canning them. Tap into the ball game now for the Bulldogs. giving Keitzer another little blow here. And that shot's no good, and Tap goes up and blocks off, gets the rebound, draws the foul on Black. But the Bulldogs aren't shooting yet, as that's only the 5th foul on Waco. The Bulldogs have 10 this time. And here comes the press. And this is when maybe we have to get, well, maybe not, as Fletcher blows by him, goes all the way to the hole, and he's going to get the charge. Yep. I don't think there was any doubt about that one.
No, Tucker Janchek did a nice job on the backside of the press, getting set. We were taking it to the hole there.
Yeah, that was probably one where, you know, in retrospect, when you're up 18 points, you probably ought to pull that up.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Ensminger back in the ball game soon here if they keep pressing.
Well, like I said, it takes stops like that to get back into this game, because it's going to take place at the defensive end, and then hope some of your shots fall on the offensive end. But
yeah, they need to get a few threes going down here when they get some open looks. They haven't had very much success with that tonight. Anybody but Blake, and in fact, no one else has made a three except Blake tonight. So Blake for a 2, and he buried that one.
Take another step back, and it's a 3.
That was a nice job of running the offense there. Gerst goes down and puts up the shot. No good. Blake comes out with a rebound. He's going to the other end.
To his left there, Coach.
To his left, shot it with his right hand and missed the shot. But there's Janacek getting the rebound.
Again, clock stopped. Opportunity to take into that lead.
The Bulldogs aren't doing a real good job of clock management right now, I don't think. Here, we've taken some wild shots down there, fouled on this end, and the fouls you don't feel too bad about. Janacek missed that one, and that really helps. But you don't feel too bad about the fouls when you're going after a rebound or something, but fouling them out front and then just taking a quick shot. That one's no good. And Rogers comes down, and we're going to have a jump ball. And that's going to be Waco's ball again.
And right now, you want them to be aggressive on the rebound as the Warriors, because, a foul at this point in the game could come down to free throws.
And the Bulldogs aren't in the 1-and-1 yet, so you can afford to take some chances. And we're going to have a double dribble on Gerst. Blake missed the shot. The ball came out loose. Gerst went to pick it up and is calling for a double dribble. Coach Worrell's not happy. He's calling a timeout.
Now Rogers did a nice job coming from the help side there and getting it mid-court there. Trying to cut off Blake, but Blake had to step on him.
Yeah, he was going to say you didn't need. You just turn and run to get down here where he can't shoot it. And he's missed a couple here, which has helped the Bulldogs out, because with the clock not running and this lead's down to 14. Why, that's big.
And I want to say that might be our 4th miss in a row. Janacek missed a couple. Hits the second.
Blake hits that one.
Leaving a lot of points there where we need them. Again, poke it away from Ensminger. Braden Blake
the Bulldogs are in not an attack mode against the press, and even if you don't want to score, you got to attack like you want to score. Take it down there and then kick it back out front. You can't just bring it across the timeline. And Ensminger's using that crossover dribble, and that's costing him.
Well, they're putting him in a tough position, one-on-one with Braden Blake, a senior. And like I said, he's long, active, and is pretty quick.
You just you can't cross over against an athlete that's that good. They're gonna get the ball from you. Pickard inside, puts it up, no good. And there's Timmerman with the rebound. He's had a strong night tonight. I've really been impressed with his play. Rogers has the ball into the lane, fakes it, gives it back out to Osborne.
And Bulldogs pull it out.
Stretch it out now. Gonna run a little time here, probably. Don't cross over. He about did it again. Timmerman to the hole, misses the shot. And there's a rebound and put back in by Rogers. That was huge. That was a huge basket because all the momentum was going the other way. Makes it 55-40 with 3:26 to go. Timmerman gets his hand on the ball. Backs off, back out front.
Yeah, we had
over here to Hawken. Back out front to Blake. Over to Black in the corner. Back to Black. Feeds inside to Pickard. Pickard double team, kicks it back out front. Here it comes out to Blake. Now over, and the shot is no good by Janacek, and it's rebounded by the Bulldogs. Here comes Timmerman to the hole and draws the foul.
That was a nice little step-through move there on the transition.
It sure was. He's really looked good tonight. This is really his first. He played a little bit last year, but this is really his first extended action when it counts, you know. And he clunked it up there off the back. It wasn't short anyway. I'll give him that.
I'm going to let you keep talking up these players because right now we're stepping up to the line and giving the Warriors a chance here.
Yep. They were better off when they weren't shooting free throws. 55-40, 2:50 to go. Blake has the ball, kicks it off to Janacek. Back to Blake. He's going to put up a deep three, really deep three. Doesn't go. Rogers gets the rebound. He's trapped in the corner and calls a timeout wisely at this stage of the ball game.
And right now, you know, the Warriors, you got to get those shots up quick.
Take a look at the Bulldogs. They're a tired team out there right now. I'm seeing them walk to the huddle, and you can tell they're a tired team. That was a good timeout for two reasons. Rogers was in trouble in the corner, and maybe you need a little break here so you can maybe come down and get your legs under you and maybe get a basket.
I think I'll read off a few sponsors here as we close in the game here. We have Lichty & Sons Construction, Washington County Hospital and Clinics, American Waterjet Cutting, Sassy's Cafe, Eichelberger Farms, Miller Plumbing, MD Orthopedics, Rowe Heating, McCoy Plumbing and Heating, Turkeys R Us, Farmers and Merchants Telephone, TC Tiling, People's Savings Bank, Benchmark Real Estate, Waco Booster Club. Again, that's sponsors for tonight's Warriorcast and all season. We really thank you for giving us the opportunity to share the game with you, our listeners.
Well, we're down to crunch time here. We'll kind of set it for you. Let's see. Waco has 3 timeouts left. Mediapolis only has 1. Waco's in the double bonus. The Bulldogs are in the bonus with 8 fouls, so not quite in the double bonus. Mediapolis leads 55-40. It's the Bulldogs' ball with 2:38 left to go in the ball game. Timmerman to inbound, having a little trouble, gets it into Keitzer, off to Ensminger. He gives it up to Timmerman. Timmerman brings it up the floor, still not across the timeline, and that's going to be a travel.
Tried to do a little jump stop there, but didn't get rid of the ball.
Just needs to drive that ball up close to the timeline and just stop and look around. Somebody's going to be open. So now Waco has the ball. Black has it out front. Down in the corner is Blake. He feeds inside to Pickard. He's under the basket, and what a shot that was. Whoa, that was big time.
Nice little reverse layup there.
Yeah, nice reverse layup under the basket and among the tall trees, too. And there goes the Bulldogs' last time out.
Well, Coach Hilmer was trying to get one after the made basket, and they inbounded it quick enough where they couldn't get it called. And everybody kind of stopped. Ensminger looked over thinking the timeout was made. And
yeah, so no timeouts left. That could be huge for the Bulldogs. And Waco has 3, so they can stop that clock a few times.
Well, the way I describe Duncan Pickard's game, it's kind of like a changeup or a knuckleball. He's in there in the post, and he's lost a lot of weight, trimmed down to get himself in that playing shape. And he's kind of used to having to play lower to the ground, so he does a lot of up and unders, and there you saw a nice reverse layup out of Duncan.
Yeah, I didn't think he had a prayer making that shot where he was at. You know, I'm kind of sitting here saying, don't foul him, and bail him out, and then he made the shot. Well, he's played quite a while here with 4 fouls now, too, so that's another thing that he's taken care of. Oh. Bulldogs are going to throw it away. Down at the end line. Kind of the wrong guy flying there. You want one of your other athletes, maybe besides Keitzer, flying down the floor.
Now the Warriors kind of baited, and it's kind of like, you can throw it over the top to him if you want, but
Bulldogs staying in that 1-2-2 zone right now. Ball goes inside to Hawken. He puts it up. It's short. Battled around for the rebound, and Rogers comes up with it, almost throws it away. but gets it down to Keitzer and down to Osborne for layup, and that's a big basket for the Bulldogs right there.
Again, just didn't get back in defense, in rotation.
Waco's back down. Now Blake has the ball, drives on the baseline, jumps into Rogers, and Rogers will get the foul. Good move by Blake. Good thinking there. He wasn't really in a very good spot to score, but he figured he could draw the foul. And of course, if you can score with the clock not running,
there we go.
He steps up there and cans this one.
Right now, Mediapolis scoring just enough to not make this interesting.
Yeah, that last basket was pretty huge for him, I think. Puts the lead at 57-43 now with 1:32 to go. Steps up and hits both of them.
So now the Warriors are going to have to really pick up the intensity on defense. Either get a steal or force them to earn it at the line. Get a 5-second count.
5-second call.
He's kind of in a tough situation. He kind of got stuck under the basket.
Yeah,
he used the baseline.
They got to have somebody releasing deep all the time here, just in case, so at least you can throw it there. And there's going to be a three right there. Nope, doesn't go for Blake, but a nice rebound by Hawken. Back out front to Black. Over to Pickard. He's going to drive in there. Now kicks it out to Black. He puts up a long three off the front of the rim, but rebounded by Blake. He puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Black, no good. And the ball's going to go out of bounds and belong to the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs dodged a bullet there. Three really good opportunities.
Point blank. Those are ones you got to have this close in the game.
And there's a foul on Janacek as he went in to try to steal the pass to the middle of the floor to Rogers, and that's a foul they had to have anyway, so they can't let any time run off the clock now. Make the Bulldogs earn it at the free throw line.
And that's only his third foul. So.
And this will still be a 1-and-1 at this point. And Carlson coming in the ball game for Insminger. So they're probably going to do that on defense and then try to get Insminger back in if they can on offense.
Yeah, they're kind of looking over at his hip, and looks like he might have taken a shot there.
And Rogers thinks the free throw. That's big for the Bulldogs.
Yep, Insminger's going down to the trainer there. She's taking a look at that hip.
And that one drops too, so big free throws for Tyler Rogers. Makes it 59-44 with 1:05 left. Blake has the ball. Turns, spins, shoots, no good. Rogers with a nice rebound. That was a big, strong rebound. Here come the Bulldogs with numbers and throw it away.
And, that's a learning experience.
That's a learning experience. Those are young guys out there. Got to know the score and the clock. Saw the basket. Looked easy, but isn't easy.
Yeah, you don't need any more points right now.
Nope, you need to pull up, and next foul's the 10th and get you to the free throw line for 2. And at this stage, if you get there for 2, you probably only have to make one.
Second team.
And Bulldogs get it inbounds, and that should do it. And it does. So final score, Mediapolis 59, Waco 46 here in the opening round action for the boys anyway. Girls had a big win. Mediapolis.